Hi and welcome to the latest episode of Sunday Vibes at NST Podcast. And yes, I'm back. Eleanor's back. But you know what? In this episode, we're going to be asking the big question. Can we still afford to chase passion over a steady paycheck in 2025? I mean, with the rising cost of living, social pressures, and the hustle culture on overdrive, it's a conversation I'm sure that's close to everyone's heart. But before we delve into the show, allow me to introduce our very special guest for today. Now, she's a chef who started from nothing and who's at the top of her game now, thanks to her sheer grit, passion, patience, and persistence. And I'm sure she's going to tell you a bit more about herself now. So we've got Yenny Law in the house. Yenny, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Intan. And
Elena.
It's okay. It's all down to nerves. I understand completely.
Okay, this is the first time ever I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. Thank you so much for inviting me over.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. But maybe, for our audience, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, like I said, you're a chef who started from nothing, who's risen to the top of her game and still rising, I'm sure. And I think you just came back from a very rewarding event where I think you and your team collected some accolades.
Yes, we did. In fact, about 3 weeks ago, we went to China, Shenzhen, to receive the Cordon Bleu Ribbon Award.
Wow.
For me,
Congratulations.
thank you so much. For myself and Chef Shelley, my business partner. So, I mean, this is the highest awards that's been given to us, and we're very excited. And also, we're very grateful for this opportunity to be out there, known internationally as well.
Right.
So it's really a gift.
Right. When I said you started from nothing, is that right? I mean, is that partially true?
Yes. Well, I started from really as a commie, and also that's where I started working. And of course, I did my diploma in hotel management, which I actually specialize in cuisine. Yeah.
Right.
So that was my journey, how I began. And after that, of course, many years down the road, I was able to own a restaurant. Back then, it was called Boathouse. And I really started from not nothing. It's actually negative. So there were a lot of that I didn't realize that I had taken over by taking over the business of other people's legacy.
Right.
And yeah, so from there it was like just jump right into the deep ends of the water, and that was how I started. I guess it's more like you got no other options. You know that you're deep in the water already, and you just got to swim or claw yourself out. And you have got no time to even think about, whether I want to do this or not. And I've already inherited that business upon myself, and giving up wasn't an option. Yeah.
So don't you think this is the perfect episode for her to...
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? Because we're talking about passion. I mean, if you didn't have the passion for it, I don't think you would have continued up to this point now.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it was rife with challenges.
Yeah, you would have thrown in the towel and said, screw it.
Yeah.
I'll do
Correct.
something else.
I suppose passion, a lot of people are talking about it these days, especially nowadays, the younger generation.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that, I love to do this. I love painting is my passion. But I think this word is, I would say that it's being overused now.
Okay.
And a lot of people sort of, they get confused and saying that, just because you love doing something, you're passionate about it. Now, just allow me to briefly, in my point of view, explain what passion is to me. Okay. When you're so passionate about something, you gotta love doing it. Okay, it stems from love. Loving to do that one thing which you don't mind doing over and over and over again, even if, let's say, it were to be repetitive, and you just got to do it. And also not and also there are other parts, like for me running a business. Okay, people think, oh, it's easy running a business. Of course, it's a very fanciful thought that running your own restaurant is something that everybody would love to have, you see. Yeah, but if you're starting from scratch when you got no money to do it, how are you going to make that work? So it's like bootstrapping. So
right.
and bootstrapping is not the easiest thing. You have to put aside your ego, your pride, because there are days that you got to wash the toilets. There are days that you need to clear the grease traps that is literally smelling like a person's gut.
Okay.
So
God.
That doesn't sound very nice.
yeah, and of course, if let's say I were to be so prideful and so egoistical and say that, oh, I'm a chef level, this is beneath me, I don't do this.
Right.
But then you think again, is this your business? If this is your business, why should you mind doing all this?
Right.
So, yeah, I love the job. I love cooking. I love hosting our guests, and then making people happy through our food and our things that we do on a daily basis. But at the end of the day, it comes with so many other parts. You gotta love numbers. You gotta love the people. Even if hard customers, difficult,
Challenging
okay?
customers.
Challenging customers. How to turn them into your fans. At the end of the day, that is also, you gotta love it.
Right.
You cannot say like, oh, I love the business, or I love what I do, but I don't like all these parts.
The
Sorry.
things that are
Yeah.
associated with running that business.
Correct.
As well.
I think
Yeah.
that's also true of anything, even like, for example, you're talking about your passion,
Yeah.
with what you're doing. And like for me, I would say I am pursuing a passion, which I've had since I was young, wanting to be a journalist.
Yeah.
And of course, there are things that I have to do, which I'm not fond of. But in having this passion, in achieving it, it also means having to accept that there are things which you won't like to do.
Exactly.
Yes.
But it's part and parcel of
Yes.
what having that passion is about.
Yes.
It's not about being selective.
Correct.
It's about just knuckling down and doing it.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? Because you can't
Correct.
be selective.
No.
Because you can't say, I want to be this, but I don't like this part, so I don't want to do this part.
Yeah.
It's part and parcel of it all, isn't it? Is that
Yes.
what you're saying?
Correct.
Right.
Absolutely right.
All right.
Because you can't have one without the other.
Correct.
It comes
Yeah.
as a package.
Yes.
Even if, let's say, in relationships, okay, in daily normal human being relationships, say, oh, I'm in love with this person and all that. So why are you in love with that person? Then after that, you over the years or over the months that you've been dating, and then you start to see all these flaws
Yeah.
cropping up and all that. And then you're going to say, oh, I love this person, but I really hope that this person would change and all. But this is inbuilt already in that
It's
person.
part and parcel of
yeah,
who
it's
they
part
are.
and parcel. So
Yeah.
you cannot just say, oh, I want to cut this out and I'm just taking this part. You can't.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't.
true.
The
Yeah.
good, the bad, and the ugly. You got to accept the person.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I was just going to
Yeah.
ask you now on the topic of, the struggles and challenges. Now, do you think that struggles is necessary for success, or is that a toxic myth?
Okay. Struggles are like challenges, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's put it this way. People struggle when they face challenges.
Okay.
Am I right?
Okay.
Okay? So when there's no struggle, when there are no challenges, how would you be able to learn? So, in other words, it's like every day you're going on a very comfortable mode and you say, oh, but life is not that,
Yeah.
you see? So it is not a toxic myth. It's a real thing. You
Okay.
know?
Then on that note then, when I say toxic, it can also appear to be romanticizing hardship. making people feel like if they're not suffering, that means they're not worthy of their goals. What do you say to that? It's like the struggling artist,
Yeah.
in order for you
Like
to...
if you don't struggle, that means you haven't made it lah.
Yeah, something like
The
that.
element of struggle must be there.
Well,
but is that true?
Is that true? Yeah. What do you think?
I think that element of struggle, it is in any business. It is there. You cannot deny the fact that it shouldn't be there, or one person shouldn't go through challenges. Even if, let's say, I would put it like this: I had many millions, okay, and I would love to do F&B business. I would like to run a restaurant or a hotel, or a service industry business. And yeah, money is not a challenge, okay? Money flows easily. So I don't have that challenge. Then I've got to deal with people, staffing, suppliers. And then you're hoping that your suppliers don't cheat you of your money and give you crappy ingredients. So all these things are also part of things that you need to deal with. So
It's very real.
it is very real, because we're living in a real world. We cannot control other people. We cannot control how people react or how people should behave. So by dealing with all these moving parts, all these human relationship, definitely there will be challenges.
But I think passion is also something that, when you are passionate about something, you want to better yourself, you want to do things, and that comes with an element of struggle, or with an element of, trying and failing maybe,
Yep.
or, not getting it right the first time. So I think struggle also is in the pursuit of passion. You do struggle. I think to a certain element, not in a sense that it's toxic, but in a sense that you're trying to better yourself and trying to improve yourself. Of course, you'll be struggling.
Yep.
That's
Interesting point.
It's,
Okay.
To add to that, think of yourself. You say, if you want to go to the gym, okay, why do you want to go to the gym? Because you want to feel healthier, you want to look better, you want to trim the some
fat.
weight, or you want to build muscles, for whatever the reason you want to hit the gym. You
Right.
see, so lifting weights is painful. Your muscles have to tear in order for it to regrow and rebuild on top of each other. Then you get buff. So you got to do all that part, which is a challenge. And you cannot say that, oh, I want to look nice,
But don't do
But-
anything about it.
but I do the reverse. I go and eat, and I eat more
yeah,
and more and more.
yeah.
Then you have the reverse effect
Right.
of your end goal.
Right. Okay. Let me just rewind back to the original premise of this episode, which is asking the question whether we can afford to be chasing our passions in this day and age, or we need to look more towards whether our paycheck is going to cover, and do you think that chasing the traditional idea of kerja stable, a stable job, is starting to matter more now to us, or can we still afford to chase our passion?
Okay, being able to chase your passion or go after it. Okay, you need to ask yourself. You don't have to just say like, oh, I'm going to resign today. I throw my towel in, and then I'll go after my passion.
Right.
It has to be built. So, of course, paycheck is very important. That's our security. We need the money. Ever since the day we were born, everything is cash. Our parents spend the money and clothe us, feed us. It's all through cash. So it's through paychecks. Now, in order for us to live or to continue every day to look decent as human beings, we need security. That is money, correct? Now, so you keep to your stable job, and then at the same time, whatever passion stuff that you have in mind, work on it. Carve a little bit of time out. It could be 1 hour a day. It's not too much. Or even half an hour a day. And over long period, say 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you would have built that. And then when you're ready to really launch into it, and then you say, you can leave your job. And when that thing that you're going after is sustainable already.
But you're lucky in a way because you have your struggles, but you are living your passion. Correct?
Yes.
So have you ever reached a point in this journey of being in your passion and pursuing your passion where you almost gave up on your dream because reality just hit too hard? Ever come to that point?
Of course.
All right.
When the struggle of, especially, let's talk about, everybody knows this, during COVID-19, okay? During COVID-19, all industries got hit really hard. And F&B is also the same, So that was the time where it was the most challenging time for me because I couldn't pull through it. Over how many years that I've been in that business? I think 17 years, 17 years of running the restaurant. I just had to give it up because if not, then I would go down with it. And I thought like, I worked all my life, with all this honesty and hard work, and I thought would get me somewhere. And the whole world resets.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to think about, and I was tired because every day, every single second, my mind was thinking, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? And I continued to create so much of things. I asked myself questions. What do people need out there? What do, stuff like that. What do people really want or crave when they lock down? That's when I thought about, okay, I asked people, what do you want? And then people say, oh, cereal. It's comforting to have some porridge and herbal soups and all that. So back then, I started creating all these things. And then I did a lot of Facebook Live and all just to promote this out and then deal with the delivery and all that. All these things that I was doing, of course, it was mentally tiring, and at the same time juggling the funds, how to pay my team. So it was crazy.
Did you ever think that you wanted to throw in the towel and say to hell with it?
I never thought of giving up, but it's just that it came to a point whereby you got forced out of it.
Right.
I got forced out of it.
Right.
So I got forced out of my own, because I literally had only one choice to do. That is either to close down my business, okay, or take my own life.
Oh dear.
So because I couldn't deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just, so I decided to take that decision to close down my business, and because I could no longer run it anymore. And that's when I say, okay lah, then since I love doing what I do, I can still cook and all that. I love doing what I do, and I can go and do this, but on a different platform. That means working for other people.
Right.
Right. So I didn't mind.
Right.
I didn't mind at all, so long as at the end of the day, I get paid doing it and doing something I love doing. So it's like turning your passions into money. Turning your passion into profits for business lah. So yeah.
Right, interesting. There's this glamorization of the hustle culture online. Okay. Do you think it's healthy or do you think it's dangerous? And is social media making us romanticize passion careers without actually showing the true picture? of, because you're talking about the things that you had to go through. I mean, on your IG, it looks wonderful because, I follow your social media. It looks like you are worry-free, challenge-free. Everything looks wonderful.
Having the time of your life.
You're collecting awards after awards. You're having a wonderful time, with your team making dance videos and stuff. This is what we're seeing on social media. Do you think this glamorization of the hustle culture is actually unhealthy or quite dangerous? Because people get the wrong idea. Right. Not that I don't enjoy your dance videos. I enjoy your dance videos very much.
Okay. To put it in a way that the world is already, full of a lot of negativity and all that. So I don't think so. I want to do it in such a way to publicize all this. I don't want people to see how I suffer or I go through the challenges or my struggles. I prefer not to show them because I would prefer people to see the happier side, because it definitely will send out a lot of positivity. Everywhere else in the world is either economic war or real war, and all these things, it's negative enough.
Right.
Right. And because it is not about me, it is not about, I don't want to be that selfish and put that out and let people worry and start asking that, oh, you cut your hand today, oh, you burn your hand today, oh this and that and all. Are you okay and all that. I mean, no need lah.
Right.
So, because I believe that this is my own opinion lah. I just feel that I want to share more positivity than negativity. So but that's just me.
That's the way how you want to attract people
Correct.
to positivity, as opposed to
Yeah.
having your emo posts that sometimes you see on social media,
Yeah.
where it does attract some reaction, but
Yeah.
it's more of the kesiannya, that kind. I mean, I don't know. I think I would rather prefer.
I mean, going for pity or
Yes,
going for
pity.
sympathy.
Yes.
Sometimes it has the opposite effect on
Yes.
people as well.
That's true.
Correct.
That's
But
true.
has the passion ever faded with time, or because with all the struggles, the ups and downs, right, of going through what you did, has it ever occurred to you that it's a little bit, it's not as bright burning passion as before?
Let me ask you something back now.
Okay.
When you're so in love with something or someone, it never dies.
When
You-
you're
you-
in love with. Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So when you're in it, it never
It never
fades.
goes- never fades.
It never, the fire doesn't turn into ember, Although if, let's say, sometimes it switches to ember, you just need to fill it a little bit and
Refuel.
then refill. Yeah. Like pour some oil, gasoline.
something different.
And then after that,
So how do you refuel?
for me, through travels, if
Yeah.
I get a chance to go traveling, of course, and what I do every single day is that I read. I go home. I don't read about recipe books and all that, because what I do read is about self-help books and also how to run a business, how to be a better person with other people.
Right.
Because my business has people element in there, how to be. I just want to learn on all different levels of how to be better at doing running my business.
Right.
Yeah.
Riding on that question Eleanor's just asked, they say that passion fades when it becomes your job. Okay, for example, just give you an example. Back in those days, before I was even in journalism, or maybe even before Eleanor was in this industry, we had an idea about what it could be like to be a journalist, like Lois Lane in Superman, for example. It's so wonderful, right? Now we are in the thick of it, and like for me, it's been 20 odd years in it. So it is possible that perhaps when it becomes your job, that the flames are not as bright as before, perhaps because you're beset by challenges. You finally realize, hey, it's not as glorious as you think it is. So I think riding on that question, I was also asking myself, is it as glorious as I thought, back then, when, as a fresh-faced, I don't know, someone looking forward to, pursuing her passion. So now when I'm sitting here now, 20 odd years later, and I'm reflecting on the journey, I'm also asking myself, is that passion for the passion still as huge or as big, especially when you're having to grapple with everyday challenges and having obstacles and banging your head against a brick wall most of the time? And dealing with people, managing people is not easy, because I thought I would be just a journalist forever and ever, amen. All I do is just write. But of course, you have to evolve. You don't just stay in the same position for over many, many, many years. So now I'm asking myself, is it as nice as I thought it would be? So like when you answered and you say, you should be fueling, blah, blah, blah. So the way I do it is by creating new products, right? By having to self-motivate myself.
Yep.
Because no one else is going to do it, because all they do is just pile stuff onto you.
Correct.
All right? You're
Yes.
still going to have different sets of challenges because the landscape has changed. So what can I do to still fuel the passion? And like you said, your travels and all that. So for me, it's creating new products and being excited about the new kind of challenges which I never expected I'd be grappling with at this stage. What about you, Al? Because you dreamt of becoming a journalist.
I think when
Once
you're
upon a
in
time.
love, because it's a lot to do with, I mean, what Yanni says, a lot to do with falling in love, isn't it? You
Yeah.
love something, you fall in love, but of course, when you fall in love, of course, everything is wonderful and colorful and beautiful
Yeah.
and all that, right? But then when you actually get into that relationship, then you find that not everything is the way it is.
It's rosy.
Not everything is rosy. Not everything goes the way you want it to go. Not, oh, I didn't expect this. Oh my God, what am I doing? But then again, I think just like falling in love and choosing something, and whether it's a passion or not, falling in love sometimes is also a choice that you make, because you choose to love somebody, whether they irritate the shit out of you or not.
But sometimes
it's
you
a
cannot
choice.
control. It's a feeling.
It's a feeling. Feelings come and
Yeah.
go. But the thing is,
Correct.
passion, sometimes we need to decide whether that passion that you had for something is about feelings, which can be a bit surface, because, we
Yep.
feel like we want to be a musician. We feel like I want to be a rock star. I mean, one time I wanted to be a rock star. Never worked.
Wow.
Because you feel it, but it's not really. But sometimes passion is a lot deeper than that. It's having that thing that you really enjoy what you do, come what may. Whether
Correct.
I think that keeps me going, because I still like what I do. I still love it. I mean, yes, of course, challenges are there, but it's like loving somebody and choosing to stay in love with that person.
Warts and all.
What's and all, and then like doing what you said, finding something new to be excited about,
Yeah.
or refueling yourself in ways that like you reading and traveling and so I think sometimes it's a choice, passion,
Right.
because passion alone is not
It's
going
not
to
enough.
I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, it's not
So,
enough. That's true.
I suppose a lot of people out there would be wondering, would be asking themselves, or even would love to ask us now, that how do you know that, how do you decide whether your passion is a real passion? I'm
That's
sure
interesting.
there'll be a lot of people asking this now, going through their minds.
I think by
How
trying.
how do you even know,
I think your passion, like for me, I'd answer that question. I'd say I would know it's my passion because I haven't given up on it. You know?
But in order for that to happen, you can think in your head that you love a lot of things, but if you don't try it, you don't venture into it. I'm not saying resign tomorrow and suddenly go into something you never done before,
Yeah.
but like what she said, slowly go into it and discover yourself by going into it. Then only then you will realize whether it's a passion or whether it's something, it's a hobby.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, yeah.
And also,
You know?
it's really helpful to ask yourself this question. This is me sharing. Ask yourself this: does it make your heart sing? Okay, does doing what you love doing, make your heart sing?
Now it makes my heart scream.
Okay.
Scream every day when I wake
Yeah.
up.
So the next question is that, do you mind spending a lot of hours doing it? Okay. Now, if you do mind, okay, say, oh, I still got to do other stuff and all that. But if you have that question in your head and say, okay, I do mind actually. So that's really a no-no already. So, and then another one is that, is doing that thing you love doing makes you get lost in time.
Okay.
Okay, so you lose your sense of time doing it. That could be a real passion.
If only I had the luxury of time to lose myself in my passion.
I don't know
You know,
whether I can afford to lose
yeah,
any
I
time.
can't.
I
And
don't
the
have
thing
the
is,
time.
yeah, I mean, it's fair, it's fair. But I think in an ideal world, that would be it. You know, it's very romantic. But in the real world, unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of time. Though we love what we do, though it is our passion, but we're not going to be facing, every day with our heart singing. That's for sure. You're going to be shouting and screaming. But I think for me, the mark of the fact that it is your passion is that you stick to it. You stick to it. Persistence, patience, grit, patience. Yes, I think that's what it is. And knowing that you're gonna be screaming every day, but you're gonna be okay with it.
Yeah.
And that, time does not pass because you don't have the luxury of time, but you just want to find that balance. I think that thing, like with me, when you say, do I still have those feelings? I'd say, well, not quite, because I would wish to have a better balance. Not to say this is the be all and end all, and because it's my passion, therefore, nothing else matters. It should. Things that are important should matter as to your passion.
Yes.
But it's finding that balance, I
That's
feel.
true.
Yeah. Anyway, before we... Oh my God, the time again is not on our side. Sorry. I want to ask you something. What's the one lesson the School of Hard Knocks taught you that no textbook ever could, or none of those self-help books could ever help you with?
I suppose, is to never give up.
Mm-hmm.
Schools, it's just the schools of hard knock will teach you this. It's like never give up, never lose hope.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very important for, especially nowadays, students. You got to build that. You don't lose hope. You got to, because you go to school, you have that one responsibility. Do it great, and then when you do it so good, or when you fare well, at least you got a bargaining card and say, I have options, rather than, I just ngam pass my SPM, scraping past, and then you have lesser options.
Yeah.
So at least, like, our responsibility is to be that student and do that part first.
Right.
Then at least you got that option, that card to say that, I want to choose to be this or that. Or even if, let's say, I'm great with science and mathematics, I can be a doctor. But am I going to be a doctor? Am I really going to be, And then after that, I love painting actually. So study so much for what? But still, it makes sense to study because at least you get that option. It is not because you gotta study, because you want that few options.
Right. Okay.
That freedom.
Last question. In a world obsessed with chasing what's next, okay, how do you remind yourself to enjoy what you've already achieved? Because you have come a long way, and you have managed to, do a lot of things that would make a lot of people proud. So how do you tell yourself it's not just about asking what's next, and to just be contented and just enjoy the moment?
Well, for me, it's I do it like every other day, or mostly it's every other day. Is that stop myself and check my mind, okay, and be grateful for what I have now, okay, and I will take some time to do stuff that I love doing. Like sometimes not even wanting to look at the accounts, or I just leave that for a while. Okay, since I saw this on the internet, I want to do. I'll go try it out, or even check out some place nice to eat that I can go on my day off, or plan a trip and fantasize about it. Who knows that it will come true, and then I work my way towards it. Then probably put some extra 100 ringgit or two into my jar.
Oh,
My
you have
travel
a jar.
Yeah.
Travel jar.
That's
Yes.
nice.
Oh,
that's
that's
nice.
nice.
Yeah, then I can work towards that.
Right.
Now, having said that also, because everyone is always looking for the next big thing, correct?
Correct.
And I suppose this is just human nature. You know, you look at ever heard of people who climb mountains?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they always want to keep climbing.
Yeah.
They're always
Okay,
looking for the
yeah,
next mountain to
the
climb.
the next new mountain, the next new mountain, and the next new mountain. But what I would love doing is that climb that mountain, stay on top of it, look out,
Enjoy the view.
enjoy the view,
Yeah.
and before you decide your next mountain.
Yeah. So, Al, on that question as well, what's your next big thing? And are you going to be okay to just stay on top of the mountain and enjoy the view? Or do you have more mountains to climb that
I
you
don't
are
know lah.
aspiring to?
I just like the view right now. So, yeah, enjoy the view. I mean, having said that, of course, you never want to stop learning. You never want to stop trying new things. I think that's all part and parcel of growing. But yeah, don't forget to enjoy the view because I like the view. So enjoy it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And on that note, we've come to the end of the show. And thank you, Yenny, for such an
Thank you.
interesting discussion. And Al, of course, great perspectives there. But before we go, I'd like to remind all your listeners, audience out there, not to forget to get your copy of Sunday Vibes, which is inside the new Sunday Times. And failing which, go to NST Online. Right, Al?
Instagram.
Oh, Chop, Instagram. Instagram is to
Sunday
follow
Vibes
us.
_NST. I got it right.
Yes, but I'd also like to add, NST has a new TV series.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so
a
I'd
very
like-
interesting one.
Yes, I'd like to do a shout out for our new pickleball series, which had its pilot episode just a few days ago. Please do look out for it's called NST Takes ... to court. So that's a plug. So on that note, I'll say
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For,
Thanks.
Thank
Intan
you,
and
Yenny.
Elena, and NST especially for inviting me over to have a chit-chat
Yes.
session.
And may you come again. Until
you
the
so
next
much.
time, bye.
Bye.